Welcome back to the Deep Dive. Today, we're looking at the ripple effect of a single act of kindness. I've got a story. It's about a pretty normal moment on the Boston subway, but it ended up touching a whole bunch of people's lives. So we'll unpack how it happened and why it really resonated with so many and what we can all learn from it.
The story's amazing. It shows how powerful human connection can be, the role of shared experiences too, and how art can have such a subtle but profound influence on all our lives.
All right, let's set the scene. So it's a typical weekday evening. We're in Boston. Just picture a packed subway car. You know the kind, where everyone's just exhausted
Yeah.
and lost in their own little worlds, just trying to get through their commute. Have you ever felt that way? Like surrounded by people,
Yeah.
but totally alone.
Totally. That feeling of isolation, that's actually really important to understanding why this story resonated with so many. It taps into something we all experience, that feeling of being disconnected, especially in our busy modern lives.
Right. And into the sea of tired faces and people avoiding eye contact walks Keanu Reeves, but not in like a flashy Hollywood way. He's just blending right in, dressed casually. It's almost like he's trying to be inconspicuous.
That's what's so interesting here. Keanu's this huge celebrity, but he's just another passenger, no entourage, no special treatment. It makes his act of kindness later even more powerful because it feels genuine and relatable, not like he's putting on a show.
Exactly. So the train jolts, and this elderly woman loses her balance. And without missing a beat, Keanu gives up his seat for her. It's such a small thing.
Yeah.
But you can almost feel the entire atmosphere of the car shifting.
I know, it's tiny, but it speaks volumes. Reminds us that kindness doesn't have to be this big dramatic thing to have an impact. Sometimes the simplest gestures are the most meaningful.
For sure. The woman is so grateful, but there's also this look in her eyes, like she recognizes him or something. And then she tells Keanu he reminds her of someone from her past. And that's when her story really starts to unfold.
Yeah, this is where the power of shared experiences comes in. She starts talking about this past love. He was an artist. And they would paint these murals all over Boston. Murals that reflected the city's stories, its hopes and dreams.
Oh, wow. And then this young man on the train just chimes right in. He says he knows the exact mural she's describing. The one with two hands, one giving and one receiving. He remembers going to see it with his dad as a kid.
It's such a beautiful moment of connection. What started as this personal memory for the woman becomes a shared experience, connecting these three complete strangers through a piece of art. Think about that, an image created years ago, bringing people together on this crowded subway.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And it doesn't stop there. Other passengers, inspired by this first exchange, start sharing their own connections to the murals. There's this man in a suit who found comfort in them during a really hard time in his life, and a young woman who felt inspired to keep chasing her dreams, all because of the mural's hopeful message.
Right. That's what they call emotional contagion. It's a real thing, where emotions can spread through a group super fast. In this case, it was Keanu's act of kindness that started this ripple effect. And then, as the woman shared her story, those feelings of connection, nostalgia, hope, started spreading through the whole subway car.
Yeah, the whole atmosphere changed. It went from all these isolated individuals to this space filled with shared stories and genuine connection. And it's incredible that it all started with one tiny act of kindness.
It really is. It's like Keanu. By giving up his seat, he created a space for something much deeper. He didn't just give up his seat. He gave the woman and everyone on that train a gift, the gift of connection.
And Keanu was even touched by her story. He tells her, "You gave the city more than just art. You gave it hope."
That's such a powerful statement. It gets to the heart of why this story resonates with so many people. We crave connection. We long for hope. And the story shows us sometimes we can find those things in the most unexpected places.
I agree. And you can tell the woman is really moved by what he says. It's like she never realized the impact her art has had. She was just expressing herself. But she ended up touching all these lives in ways she never imagined.
It shows how powerful it is to feel seen and heard. Think about it. How often do we go through our days feeling invisible? Like our contributions don't really matter. But this story reminds us that our actions, even the small ones, they can have a ripple effect that goes way beyond ourselves.
It's like we all have the potential to leave behind these invisible murals, these imprints of hope and connection, without even realizing it.
Exactly. You just never know who might stumble upon them years later and find comfort or inspiration or a renewed sense of hope. What's beautiful is that ripple of kindness doesn't just stop there. Another passenger, a young man, shares something his mom always told him. The only thing we leave behind is how we make others feel.
Oh, wow, that's a powerful thought. It makes you think about the legacy we create. Not through stuff or accomplishments, but by making others feel seen and valued and loved.
Exactly. And here, it was that small gesture from Keanu that sparked this chain reaction of stories and emotions. It turned an ordinary subway ride into something really extraordinary.
There's this moment in the story that really stuck with me. This teenage girl, caught up in everything that's happening. She wants to take a picture, like to capture this moment.
Yeah.
But her grandmother stops her and says, "This moment belongs to us."
I love that detail. It shows how special genuine connection is. You can't capture it or measure it. It's something you just feel right there in the moment.
Yeah. It's like trying to bottle up lightning. You can't hold on to it. But the feeling stays with you. And maybe that's even stronger than a photograph.
Definitely. And there's this key moment in the story where Keanu asks the woman a simple question. That kind of changes everything. He asks if she thinks she'll ever paint again.
Oh, that's interesting. Because up to this point, she's been reminiscing about a past love, a passion she used to have. But Keanu's question, asked so genuinely, it's like it awakens something in her.
Yeah. Like he planted a seed. The woman pauses, like she's thinking it over. And then she says, maybe. Just that one word opens up a whole world of possibilities. Hints at a rekindled passion. A glimmer of hope that maybe, just maybe, she could create again.
That's the power of a single question, asked with genuine interest. It can unlock so much potential, inspire new beginnings, remind us who we really are.
Exactly. Sometimes all we need is that little nudge, that little encouragement to rediscover what we love and step back into our creative power.
And as the train is nearing its final stop, the story talks about this feeling of connection, still hanging in the air. I think everyone wants to hold on to this moment, this sense of community.
It shows you how powerful that human connection can be. Even though these passengers are about to go their separate ways, they're not strangers anymore, they shared something meaningful. They glimpsed this feeling that we're all connected.
And as she's about to get off the train, the elderly woman has this touching exchange with Keanu. She tells him he reminds her of her artist friend, the one with a kind face, who believed in the power of art to make a difference.
It brings the story full circle. Kindness is timeless. It connects us all. It's a legacy we can choose to embody and pass along.
Absolutely. It's like she's handing him the torch, that spirit of kindness and creativity. And the story keeps going from there. This act of kindness, this tiny moment on a packed subway car, has a ripple effect that goes way beyond that train.
Yeah, it's amazing how these little ripples of kindness can spread out and touch so many lives. The story says Keanu's act set off this chain reaction.
This is where that idea of social contagion comes in, but in a good way. We always hear about how negativity can spread like wildfire online, but this story shows the opposite, how one act of kindness can inspire so many others.
Right, and the catalyst for all that was that teenage girl, the one who wanted to take the picture. Her grandmother told her, this moment belongs to us, but it turns out she shared it in her own way.
Oh yeah, what'd she do?
Well, she wrote this really moving post about seeing a stranger, remind everyone what kindness looks like. And it didn't just disappear, it went viral. It touched people far beyond that subway car. Wow, it's like her words captured something that a lot of us are looking for. Connection, hope, a reminder that kindness still matters, even when the world feels divided and chaotic.
Exactly.
And get this, her post had a real-world impact too. People were so moved, they started looking for the murals, the ones the woman described. They wanted to see them for themselves.
That's so cool. It's like the story became a treasure map, leading people to these hidden gems, these pieces of public art, and reminding them of our shared humanity.
And the ripple effect kept going. People started doing their own acts of kindness, inspired by what they read, helping a neighbor, volunteering, or just saying something kind to a stranger. They wanted to make a difference.
It's pretty incredible that one man giving up his seat could have such a huge impact. It shows you the power we all have to create change, even with the smallest gestures.
And you know, Keanu never saw that viral post, but he definitely made a difference. This story shows us we don't always get to see the full impact of our actions, but that doesn't make them any less real or any less powerful.
That's a really beautiful message. Even in our busy lives, these little moments of connection and kindness can have a huge impact.
It's a reminder we're all part of something bigger, something that connects us all. And by choosing kindness, being present, listening to each other's stories, we can make the world a more compassionate and hopeful place.
This whole deep dive, it's really made me think about those small acts of kindness and how important it is to cherish those moments of connection, even when they seem fleeting. What about you? What small act of kindness have you seen or been a part of that had an unexpected impact? Share your stories with us on social media. We love hearing them because sometimes the smallest stories leave the biggest mark. Thanks for joining us today, and we'll see you next time for another deep dive.